So let's go ahead and talk about what are some of the worst movies that you've ever seen or you think were ever out, period. Like, talk to me a little bit about the worst movies out there.
Right,
and guys, hold on real quick. Guys, tell me some of your worst movies. Throw them in the chat. So after we get done, I want to throw the chat back up and I want to see what other people think are some of the worst movies ever created. But go ahead, Messiah.
By the way, the word guys, it's not it's
Sorry.
not a thing anymore.
Hey, theys. Do me a favor, theys.
Yes.
Go out there.
Yes.
For all the theys out there that are watching tonight, please, theys, go out there and put on what movie you hate.
We should have a topic about that shit because, and then after that topic, this channel will be canceled.
Yes. But, well, listen, I'm probably going to get canceled for saying they, you know, so who knows? But yeah, go ahead. I would say sir, but I don't know how you identify. So go ahead.
So my wife and I, we have this thing that whenever we watch the worst movie ever, we add it to the list of let's recommend this movie to people. We call it the worst movie list. One of the worst movies that we watched was Buried. I think it was called Buried, and it was a good actor in it, and we thought it was going to be a good movie. Basically, the whole movie is that he is buried, and how the struggle and all that shit. I'm like, what the fuck? Like, we just watched this for 2 hours, him on a phone call with somebody, and at the end, they didn't even find him. It was already like, what the fuck? That's one of the worst movies ever made. We recommend that. My wife and I, we recommend it to people. You know, any good movies? Yeah, Buried.
It's funny because you know what movie I think of when you say that?
What?
It's that one with James Franco where he had 27 hours.
That was the other one.
He's just going to sit there and you get to watch him with his arm. Like, first you get to watch him running on rocks by himself. Okay, cool. Yeah. Then he falls and his arm gets stuck. Spoiler alert for anybody who hasn't seen it. Okay. And then you get to watch him cut his arm off throughout the whole movie.
127 days, I think is the name of the movie.
Hours. 120. What is it? Could you survive 127 days? Bro.
It is hours, you're right.
This is the stuff I deal with, everybody. I'm sorry. This is what I deal with.
I thought that's what it is. I thought it was, yeah, you're right.
Yeah, there's been, you know, it's a movie like I watched it and it was just like, but why? Why am I watching this? Why do I need to watch this? What's the point of this movie? Like, okay, cool, you lost your arm. It's not like Castaway, right? Castaway, people are going to say the same thing. Oh, well, it's a guy stuck on an island. Tom Hanks was amazing in Castaway. It was entertaining. Yes, James Franco was not entertaining in this.
Did he get an Oscar for that movie?
Probably. He should have.
Yeah.
That was freaking.
But that was a great movie, though.
That was.
Yeah.
It sure wasn't no 127 days. The new one that just came out. Crazy.
That was part 2.
Part 2, yeah. What else you got?
There was another movie that I was like, yo, this movie's whack. Why would you even watch this? Damn. Oh, Black Widow, whack.
Don't even go there. You're so.
What? I seen the movie. I didn't like it. I'm like, what the fuck? To me, this is the message I got. The message I got. It has to do with women being abused, and it had to do with trafficking. The hidden message.
No.
I'm not saying those topics are whack, but I'm just saying the movie in itself is whack.
No, the movie was. Do you like James Bond?
Yes,
it's a female James Bond. That's it. That's what you have to take out of that. We're gonna talk. No, we're not doing this. This is not this episode. We will have an episode
like how whack movies.
It's not. It's not the worst movie ever made. You're such a liar. There are movies out there that are so worse than that one. Okay, according to the top. Listen, according to this list, worst movies of all time, top 10. Let me see what you think of this. Right, number 1. Okay, see, I already know. Never mind. I already know people are just going to go berserk when they hear this list. First of all, let me throw this out there. This is not my list. Okay, I want everybody watching to know. This is a list I found off the internet. This is not my list. Okay, so single screen, back to me. Number 1, The Twilight Saga. Let me finish reading them off before you comment.
That is the worst movie. Those are the worst.
Let me finish before you comment, and we'll go back.
Okay.
Number 1, Twilight Saga. Number 2, Batman and Robin. Number 3, Catwoman. Number 4, Spider-Man 3. Number 5, The Last Airbender. Number 6, Super Mario Brothers. Oh, I'm going to fight people. Number 7, Battlefield Earth. And number 8, Jack and Jill. And hold on, they may have a top 10. Yes, number 9 is Son of the Mask. And number 10 is Transformers Fallen. Revenge of the Fallen. So, I'll say this. The Twilight Sagas are not the worst movies ever made. Okay? I'm not a huge fan of them, but I can stand to watch them. To me, if I'm talking about the worst movies ever made, I'm never going to want to watch this movie again. For instance, Adam Sandler and Spanglish. I watched it once. I never want to watch that fucking movie again.
I've never even seen that movie.
That movie is horrible. It is him trying to do a serious role. It's stupid. I'm not into it. Like,
I think the new one that he did, that he was like a jeweler. I think that's his worst movie.
Like, horrible.
The Netflix one?
Yeah. I heard Last Airbender is supposed to be really bad. See, this is what people piss me off. Super Mario Brothers is a fucking classic. Okay? This cannot be on your top 10 worst movie list. This movie, yes, was fucking, like, I get it. It seems whack at this point in time, maybe, but this movie was dope. Okay, straight dope.
I think what happened is it didn't depict Mario as it's supposed to. That's basically what it is.
Maybe.
Yeah.
So it's just.
But I do agree with Twilight.
It's okay.
Me being an Anne Rice vampire type of person.
I was gonna say it has
Twilight,
vampires, has everything you want.
Since when does vampire skin crystallize?
First of all, everybody has their own interpretations. It's not a real thing, right? Vampires aren't real. Okay, so you have your own interpretation, first of all. Second of all, you weren't their target audience. We were not their target audience. We weren't 14-year-old girls. Okay, that's so they made. You don't make. You don't make.
The guy with the werewolf took off his shirt every 5 minutes.
Correct. You don't make that kind of money that they made on that series, and it be considered one of the worst movies ever. That just doesn't happen.
You thought Bridesmaid was awful? I thought that was a good movie.
Who said Bridesmaid?
Tasha.
Can you let me get to that part?
Oh, okay.
Like at least be like, hey, throw up the chat. You know, hey, hey.
For this one, throw up the chat.
All right. So Natasha first said Spring Breakers was the most stupid movie she has ever seen. So I don't remember what Spring Breakers was about. So I can't really say whether it was that bad or not. I don't even know if I've seen it.
Did I see that one? Who's in that movie?
I have no idea. My friend Toro. Oh, Totoro? I don't know what the fuck that is either. What kind of movies are you watching? Airbender was awful. Bridesmaids was awful. Bridesmaids wasn't that bad. See, other people
I think Bridesmaid was funny.
It wasn't the worst movie ever made. You know, it wasn't.
When she shits herself and she runs to the street, I thought it was hilarious, bro.
Listen, I'll tell you what. Any movie that has to do with the Boston Red Sox and the New England Patriots is absolutely garbage. God. Just throwing that out there. Just the worst movie ever made. So don't make any more about them.
Yeah. Speaking of that, when in the dates, like 21st dates, I think it is, that he does the same thing. He says that the Red Sox won the World Series. Adam Sandler, he does that.
He's not a Red Sox fan.
Anyways, I know.
So who cares?
So at the end of Bridesmaid, I think the year after that is when we won the World Series.
I have no idea.
The year after that movie came out.
Maybe that could be true. Nobody cares, but it could be true. Sure.
Yeah, but anyways, I thought it was a great movie. What was the other movie she put?
So like I said, Spring Breakers, Bridesmaids, Airbender, but that was pretty bad. So I'm trying to think, because I love movies, so I'm trying to think of ones that I watched that I'm just like, what the hell? I mean, there's a lot of those like third-rate movies out there that are just like, you know, they're little indie movies. You just
said that
Space
Jam was whack.
Oh, this new one? Whack. I won't watch that ever again. It's definitely whack.
Why? Okay, I haven't seen it yet, but why did you say? Are you comparing it to Michael Jordan's one?
No, I'm just watching it as a movie.
Because when Michael Jordan's movie came out, we were all younger.
No, I'm just watching it as a movie that I would have no interest to ever watch again. But I'm the same. You know what? All movies are whack. I'll tell you what movies are whack. The Muppets movies, whack.
What?
The Muppet. I don't care about that shit. And any movie that takes an animated character and puts them in with a live action Person,
so you didn't like Who Framed Roger Rabbit?
whack. That's different. It's a little different. A little different.
Because that's a classic.
That is fucking amazing. That's different. But like, I don't. What did you think of Sonic? Do you watch the movie Sonic the Hedgehog?
I haven't seen it yet.
It wasn't awful. Don't get me wrong, but it wasn't very good. I didn't like it that much. And then what's the?
Is it Jim Carrey as Dr. Spotnik?
Yes, and I think he made the movie, in my opinion. Like he actually made it entertaining. But other than that, I wasn't a huge fan of that. Bride of Chucky's, yeah, those are stupid. Like what? You know what it is?
That one was stupid.
90%. You know what? You know what the worst movies ever made are? I would have to say 90% of any sequel made.
Yes.
Sequels fall so short because
I agree.
They like even finding
except for Gremlins 2. That was
no, there's exceptions, right? Back to the Futures, all great.
Yep.
You know, Gremlins, all great, right? Like even the Freddy's and the Hellraisers from the horror days, like all those, all great. Like I loved every single one of those, right?
Yeah, which Project Part 2 was whack.
The Leprechaun, like even the sequel wasn't that bad. Right?
Yeah.
So there are some sequels that are good, but a lot of them are just god awful money grabs.
Especially Disney movies.
Yeah, because even Frozen 2, I'm sorry, was not as good as the first one. The music wasn't as good. The story wasn't as good. The Lion King, the second Lion King movie they put out, garbage, right? Like, they just got to stick with what they know. Like, but on the flip side, though, all the Toy Stories, amazing. Right? Pixar.
Yes,
all the Cars, most of the Cars movies were really good, right? Because I guess maybe that's Pixar, so it's different.
All the Star Wars were great, in my opinion.
Yeah, that's most people would differ from that, but you're not wrong. I mean, Star Wars did have some great movies there, so I'm not going to argue. And I'll tell you what they're doing with Star Wars now, fucking dope. I still haven't watched the Bad Batch yet that came out, so.
Oh yeah, Mulan 2, yeah, that was horrible. It didn't have Mushu in it.
Well, Mushu pork got eaten. I don't know. I'm just kidding. That was okay. I'm gonna get canceled. Cancel culture. Anyway, but yeah. See, why are sequels so bad? Like, why can't get? But you know what? There, like I said, there's some good ones. Because guess what? All the diehards. Well, they're all but some of the last one.
Which one?
Most of the diehards.
Die Hard with a Vengeance was my favorite one. The one with Samuel L. Jackson.
Yeah, the first four basically.
Yeah.
Also, Lethal Weapons. Amazing sequels.
I think Part 2 is one of the better ones.
Oh my goodness, all of them are great, man. Lethal Weapons were just great.
My favorite,
great movies.
Is 4.
Lethal Weapon
with Jet Li.
Okay, that's a good one.
That was his introduction. I think, to the U.S.
All right. So yeah, there's a lot of there are movies that have them. Most of them just suck. Spin-off movies are usually never very good. I mean, a lot of people put Howard the Duck on that list of worst movies ever.
Howard the Duck is a great movie.
I loved Howard the Duck. Loved Howard the Duck. So I don't agree with people. But there's a lot of people who don't, and they think that he should be on that list. So
what?
Yeah. But
Alf was also a great show.
I want everybody to let us know what you guys think. Worst movies ever. What are they? Comment down below. Let us know. We can go over them next week a little bit. Yeah, I mean, I think we're about that time. I mean, we're we started late, so we can still end around the same time. I think we can hop into our last segment. What do you think?